12 noon and we're pulling out of Boston Harbour. Catherine's at the helm and we're headed to Gloucester. Directly head-to-wind coming out of the harbour. It should take us about 40 minutes to motor out, and my hope is that as we hook left towards Gloucester and Cape Ann that we'll actually be able to sail a little bit more.
So here's the story. As we left Boston Harbour, the wind was coming directly off our nose, over the bow. And we can't sail 45 degrees either side of the wind, as shown by the red lines on this map. The hope was, as we moved to the left, more towards our course to Gloucester, we'd actually be able to sail, even if only just.
Trying my hand at a bit of fishing with my $7 eBay handline. Call it a Cuban yo-yo. I think we've probably got a better chance of a fish jumping into the boat than catching anything with this piece of shit, but hey, we'll see. So we're doing 4 knots right now. I don't know, do fish swim 4 knots? Got something. Pulling. It's a piece of kelp. Yeah, we got some kelp. Maybe we could dry it out on the foredeck and have it for dinner. See, we won't starve.
No wonder the famine happened.
Look at that. Fine piece of seaweed. I've just cut the revs on the engine and trimmed the sails properly, so I'm nervously watching what kind of speed we make to see if we can make here on the sail alone. Our current course is good. We're doing 4.2 knots, and if we can keep it at that, we'll make it by 6 o'clock. Sunset's about 6:20 tonight, so we should be okay. And now for the most important part of the day. There's this really cool looking race boat slowly pulling away from us right now. So the fact that they're not zooming away from us tells me that I'm doing something just about right. How about dinner? Look! You caught a dinghy! And the wind has died off completely. We're doing 2.5 knots, which means we won't get to Gloucester until 9 PM tonight. So we're going to have to turn on the engine for a little bit and just hope the wind picks up again later. Catherine is hard at work.
This is what happens when you sail in October.
As I'd hoped, the wind filled in again. Happy days. Only had the engine on for about an hour.
Off you go, Betsy.
I can't always look out.
Part of the Gloucester fishing fleet. Ah, they're tossing out lobster pots. Well, Cormorant, any crack? A little less than an hour outside of Gloucester, and as the wind filled in again, so did the rain. So it looks like it might be just a shower.
The coast of Massachusetts isn't the most dramatic, but there are these beautiful yellow cliffs on the way into Gloucester, with many $million-dollar houses dotted along them.
Look, it's a pretend castle. Bless their hearts. They're allowed to try. Look at her, tying a cleat hitch. I'm so proud. Did you do it right?
Yeah, of course I did it right.
Like a boss.
We didn't really know where we were going, so we made an educated guess as to where we thought the dinghy dock might be. We found the dinghy dock thanks to some friendly people in a dinghy who told us where to find it.
Going. Just straight into the pier wall?
Catherine's complaining about my driving. Nothing changes. There's some of the Gloucester fishing fleet. There's Cape Ann Brewing Company. There's some seagulls about to shit on us.
There's the pier you're about to run into.
Oh, I should head for that somewhere.
Yeah.
Play chicken with this piling. Oh fuck, no.
Oh my god. Oh. You didn't even try that, did you?
No. Well, we got a flight in the Cape Ann Brewing Company of an IPA, Pilsner, New England IPA, which is really good, an Oktoberfest, a double IPA, and a really good Berliner Weiss as well. And most importantly, pretzels.
We also came up with an interesting game using my anemometer or wind meter to try and see how fast of a wind speed we could blow. I'm sure people thought it was a breathalyzer, but really it wasn't.
Go home, you're drunk.
And here you can see the brewery part of Cape Ann Brewing. It's just out the back. Here you can see the fermenters, and you can see the big grain silo outside as well. Needless to say, Main Street Gloucester on a Saturday night in October wasn't exactly bustling, but there was a couple of people roaming around. Dinner that night was in Shorten, Maine. Obligatory oysters, fish pate, and the most glorious smoked bluefish pizza. The kitchen's completely open to the rest of the restaurant, and you can see the huge stone pizza oven and the wood that fires it right alongside. The hallmark of proper pizza everywhere. We decided that on a wet night, in the pitch dark, was the perfect time to teach Catherine how to drive the dinghy.
So yeah, this is going well. Don't fuck it up.
I feel like I am.
Yeah, you're
already.
going the wrong way. Do you know how to steer?
Not really.
You're going the wrong way. It's
I
like a
don't-
rudder. There you go. That's the way you want to go right now.
As can often happen in October, there was a change in the following day's forecast, with a small craft advisory in place from noon onwards. And with a 6 or so hour journey back to Boston, there was no time to hang around in the morning, so an hour before first light we set out.
It's just after 6 a.m. Sunrise is about 40 minutes away. We're gonna get going.
I was far from the only person up and about on a boat that morning. Gloucester's a pretty busy working port, and so there's boating activity going on all hours of the day.
It's been raining. It's just stopped 10 minutes ago and it's gonna start again in another 15 minutes. It's gonna be a very wet day.
And at this point, I didn't know the half of it. I set out with a reef in the main because the winds were due to pick up a bit, blowing 15 with gusts 20 and 30. Quite a lot of wind for a 30-foot boat. But by the end of the day, we were gonna be soaked. Gloucester's a very easy harbour to navigate. There's a well-lit, well-marked channel. There's not a lot of sandbars, and the morning was starting out as a nice gentle sail.
It's 5 minutes past 7 in the morning. We managed to turn the engine off. It's a grey, rainy day. You can hear the Gloucester-Boston train running in the background, and we're at the mouth of Gloucester Harbour.
But as we rounded the tip and came out into the bay, we saw what the weather really had in store for us.
Cruising downwind with a single reefed mainsail, no head sail, and we've barely dropped below 5.6 knots, averaging probably 6. So it'll tell you what the conditions are like. It's yeah, fresh breeze. White horse.
Sailing from Gloucester to Boston is fairly straightforward. The only real hazard, readily identifiable on the chart, is a rock called Halfway Rock just off of Salem, and some shoaling right behind it. This was not the day to be towing the dinghy on such a short painter, but hey, at least it was having fun.
Hey look, we're not the only ones out sailing today. This fishing boat has a sail up as well. How's it going over there?
It's a little wet.
There isn't any footage left from the day, not that we didn't make it or anything, but it was just too windy and too wet to be filming. The autopilot was often overpowered, and as we rounded the tip of Deer Island back into Boston Harbour, we saw the most wind we'd ever seen, 30 knots. So I'll leave you with this, some footage from down below just as we stopped recording, of how rough it had gotten before it became all too much for the autopilot. So that's it for this video. Since recording, the boat's been on the hard for 3 months, with another 3 months to go before it's launched. So if you'd like to see some more footage from next season, in an act of sheer unpredictable spontaneity, would it surprise you to learn I'm going to suggest subscribing? Thanks for watching, and here's to wishing winter was already over.